Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pizza and Real Estate Podcast. Welcome back to week 2 of Rookie Agents. So grateful to be here with you guys. And I want to introduce all of our agents tonight. We're going to be talking about the beginning of your career, how you start out, how you get your mindset and your beliefs right before you even communicate with the public, how you have to get yourself prepared to deal with clients, buyers, sellers, people with questions. When you start in real estate, what happens is you're thrown out there. You get your license, you're now an agent, you're with a broker, they give you some training, they throw you out there. And what happens is you're unprepared. How are you going to go out there and go against competition like me or other people who've been in the business for years and have systems in place? And that's why so many people fail. When somebody gets a real estate license and they get into the business, usually about 86 to 87% fail in the first 2 years. And it's not because they're lazy or stupid. It's because no one teaches them and tells them what to do. And you're out there battling. So unless you have experience in business and how to overcome those battles, you fail. And a lot of people in the world, they don't have that in them to take that challenge on. A lot of people are more set out to be, they work for a company, they go to work, they get a list of things to do, and then they start doing them, and then they finish them, they punch out, and they go home. They don't have the skills to market, advertise, be an entrepreneur, be self-employed, be a marketer. Because, in real estate, you have to not only be a marketing company, you have to be an advertising company, you have to be a person who can give customer service and work with people, deliver results and show people what you do. You also have to be able to handle contracts, right? There's a legal aspect of it. And then talk about going through a process, the 23 steps of getting a deal closed, going to closing. After closing, you have, client relationships to mentor, to manage after the closing, to keep in touch with people. So there's a lot to it that people don't understand. And that's the other reason why we started this Rookie Agents, because, I have a group of agents just starting new, and I'm training them, and we're doing this weekly show to share with the world what it really takes to be successful in this business, because a lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people are on these shows on YouTube and different things talking all this gibberish, and a lot of them aren't even practicing agents. They have these followings and people trust them and take their words for things. They're not even practicing in the business. It's insanity. So what I did was, I've been practicing in the business. I own a real estate brokerage, a real estate school. I also have the pizza bus, which we'll share with you guys in a little bit. And, it's interesting to see what happens behind the scenes. And I wanted to give the public a view, and that's why we started Rookie Agents. So tonight we're in our second week of training, and we're talking about beliefs and mindset, because you have to have your beliefs in place. And let me bring everybody in, and then we're going to talk a little more about it. Those beliefs, give you your actions of what you have to do, and then you get your skills and you work on them, and it's like a cycle, and it goes around, and we're going to talk more about that. But first, let me introduce Christine Swickla. She's one of our new agents. I'm going to bring her in. Hey, Christine.
Hi, Phil. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How you doing over there?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me again.
Awesome. Great to be here. How are you? Where are you in Florida? Just give a little background on where you're at.
My name is Christine Swickla. I am a newly licensed realtor in the greater Tampa area, and I am here ready and willing to help you solve your real estate needs.
Perfect. Awesome.
And problems.
And we're going to talk about some of those out there. Next, I want to bring in Daniel Cripps. Dan, what's going on, buddy? Now, last time Dan was here, he just passed his test that day. So now his little name tag says realtor, and now he's an agent with us. He's a realtor with us now. So there he is.
Hey, thanks, Phil. Yeah, I finally made it. I'm all the way there. I can proudly say now that I am a realtor. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, making a little bit of a pass to join my brother Phil. He's a food truck owner and a realtor, and I as well, same thing. And so I'm just excited to be here. Thank you so much for putting this on for us.
Happy to have you here, man. And next we have Sean Greeny. Sean, what's up, man?
Hello, everyone. How are we doing tonight?
Everybody's good on my end.
Great.
So I'm Sean Greeny. I'm from the Tampa Bay. and I'm here to help.
All right, man. And last but not least, we have Alicia. I always mess up her last name, but she's going to say, hey,
No, no problem, Phil. My name is Alicia Nieves, and I am in Jacksonville, Florida as well. And I'm just here ready to learn and really happy to be here. And thank you again, Phil, for putting this together for all of us.
that's awesome. I'm so happy to have you guys here. And I'm just setting up my screens here. Give me 1 second. Got to get my volume off of here so I can see all the comments when people are going to comment with us. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so if anybody out there has any questions or comments, there's a link I posted in the chat. You can click that link and you can actually come on in and ask us questions and any comments you have. So you can actually join us in here. So basically, what we're going to talk about tonight is where we're at in our journey. And what I want to figure out is I want to get a little bit of feedback from you guys. Now we've been training for about a week, right? We've been in training for about a week, and we started off with the background of the business, and now we're kind of going into, you got to get your mindset right, and you got to get your skill, like not your skills, but your beliefs. Okay. When I say your beliefs is you need to know that you're bringing something to the table to offer to the public. And one of the things that I created with the apprenticeship is, you as a new agent going out there and having nothing to lean on would be tremendously difficult. I know, because I did it a long time ago. I had nothing to lean on, right? So what I do with the apprenticeship is I work with our personality types. So we do disc profiling, right? So we did this already, right? We just did our disc profiling last night, where you guys each did a disc profile. We each read them out, and then we talk about how each personality type is different and how they work together, and how they, some personality types clash, some go together. But it teaches you how to take your personality when you know who you are and what you are, and how to adapt that to deal with the other personality types to get results, right? So if you're dealing with somebody who's the opposite of you, normally you wouldn't jive. Like when you run into somebody, you meet them and they kind of just rub you the wrong way and you don't like them.
Yeah.
Well, they're the opposite personality. It comes down to metaphysics, and it comes down to energy. And a lot of people, you think real estate, you think deals, right? You think deals, you think move and shake, you think hustling, but it's really not that. Success in real estate comes from relationships. So if people like you and they trust you, they're going to deal with you, right? People want to deal with people who are like them and who they trust. They need to also know you can deliver the results that are needed, right? So delivering the results are the most important thing. You can talk the best game in the world. They can trust you, but what if you can't bring those results to the table? And that's the challenge that new agents have, because you could talk a good game, you can get it all done, but you don't know how to write a contract. You don't know how to negotiate a deal. You don't know how to put seller assist. You don't know what seller. You don't know how to draw up contracts. You don't know the new language that needs to be put in the contracts, the buyer broker agreements, the concessions. There's a lot of things out there that just made it so much harder than what it was last year, And what I did with the apprenticeship for you guys is I broke the 23 steps down, and I teach you guys the first 3 steps, right? And this is what we've been going through. I'm going to pull up on the screen really quick the funnel that I created. And then I'm going to explain it to everybody who's watching. And then I want you guys to give me feedback so far on from where we started to where we are right now. And then we have our another training class tomorrow, which will be on next week's show. But I want to just get us up to the point now where we are, where you guys got your disc profiling. You guys are starting to feel where you fit in. And now you're going to start building your knowledge and your skills to start delivering to the public what you're bringing to the table. And what I designed with the apprenticeship for what you guys can bring to the table is you have me as a broker and a partner with you. So you're going to connect with people, position properly, and you're going to inspire them to work with you. And then at that point, I'm going to come in with you, and we're going to work with the people together all the way to closing. So I'm going to teach you the first 3 steps: connect, position, inspire. That's your first 3 steps when you're dealing with the public. And then from there, each step you're going to learn by doing it with me as a true apprenticeship, not by learning as you go, right? And there's a lot of risk there because you're dealing with contracts, you're dealing with people's money. You make a mistake, people can lose a deposit, they're going to sue you. I mean, they're going to that's how things work in this industry, right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to pull up the chart, and I just want to show that, out there. This is a chart that I used for years when I trained agents, when I had my training company. So this here is when I used to have my company. It was called Top Agent Academy. And what I did was this chart, what we're going to go over tonight is going to be the left side. Okay, we don't need to worry about the right side or the center or the top right now. Okay, right now in this training that we're doing with the personality types and building your beliefs is going to be what you need to know is how to connect with people, how to position properly, and how to inspire them. And then the most important part is going to be delivering results. And then once you deliver those results, you leverage that success over and over. And that's going to bring you back to connecting and position. This is like a cycle over here. So tonight, what we're going to talk about, and we're going to use this chart in future shows, because when we're talking about developing leads, building teams around us, your mindset is where we're at now, developing strategies and skills and systems. And then you have the support of me with the brokerage, and then that leads you to money, right? That leads you to deals. So this funnel here is the whole system that's in place. So tonight we're going to talk about connecting, position, inspiring, and delivering results. Okay, mostly these three. All right, so let me pull this down real quick. And all right, so basically, there's a couple. I'm going to ask you guys some questions about where you're at and what you're doing. So real quick, just a short explanation of where. We'll start with Christine. A short explanation of from when we first started to where we are now, and where you feel you're at, and we'll go from there. So that's the first question.
Phil, that what I've learned so far is that I think there were parts of me that I thought that I knew, and through the training thus far, I've discovered some parts of me that I didn't know, and I think the parts that I've discovered about me that I didn't realize I had gives me the opportunity to learn how to communicate better with other people, which I thought that I was really great at. But learning how to communicate with other people to really make that connection with them, which is the first step that we're going to be focusing on tonight.
Right. Yeah. Connection is the most important thing, right? If you don't connect with them, you're never going to do business with them.
Right.
Right. If that connection is not there, you got to have that connection. Metaphysics, it's energy. People aren't going to deal with someone they don't relate with. And that's okay. Look, there's people that don't like me, but they'll like you. There's people that like you and don't, or like me and won't like you. It's natural. It's how people are,
It is. But I will say through this training, I've had to put my ego aside a little bit to be willing to receive the information and, look at it from a factual perspective and not an emotional perspective, so that I can gain the insights that I need to be able to connect with people moving forward. So I'm excited.
Remember
this.
the thing I went over with you guys in a training. Remember the silly rabbit in your head? Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go through that. Start working on that.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what you're talking about. You need to put that aside and start fresh. And I'm telling you, if you understand how to deal with people, it doesn't matter if you're selling real estate, cars, or shoelaces, you're going to do good. And it doesn't matter. Because what it comes down to is people want to deal with people they like. And people will pay people they like more than they'll pay the guy next door selling the same thing. It works that way. And that's how business works. So the connecting, the positioning, the inspiring is critical to any relationship when you want to do business with somebody, right? So that's cool. And what I'm going to do after you guys answer these questions, I'm going to pull up my disc profile, and I'm going to show the public what a profile looks like and how in depth it is, and what it does to really break down who you are. But the most important part of that disc profile isn't breaking down who you are. It's breaking down the other personality types so you know who you are, and you can adjust your communication skills to deal with the other personality types who you would normally not jive with. Right? So, me, I'm a high D. A C personality type, if I talk to them as a D, I'm going to scare the hell out of them. They're not going to want to even deal with me. Or an S, they're going to be like, whoa, I can't deal with this guy, But if I know they're an S, I could slow myself down. I got to become more nurturing, right? As a D, I'm more concerned about results than people. That's just natural.
Right.
But an S is more concerned about people than results. So when I'm talking to an S, like for example, you're an S, right?
Yes.
So when you're prospecting, you're calling people and the people are saying, I don't want to talk to you. They hang up. You're going to think, man, I'm bothering that person. I don't want to bother that person, right? If you're thinking about doing deals. But the way you got to look at it is I'm calling that person and what I'm offering them is probably the best real estate service on earth. And I just need to get them to understand that because it's going to help them in the long run.
Right.
So your challenge when you're calling people is to convince them to give you a chance to show your value and what you bring to the table. Because once you do that and they see the transparency and they see the results we bring and they see everything we do, you have a buyer. I just closed a deal on Friday, right? It was a $367,000 listing. Okay, we got it for $348,000. I got the seller to give 5% seller concessions on top of that. So we got another $17,000 from the seller. Then I got another $16,000 for the buyer from the first-time home buyer program. When the buyer bought the house, okay, they basically got the house for $45,000 under market because of all the credits. Then they got $500 back credited on their mortgage because they got their deposit back plus $500. So they made $540 some dollars, and they got a house for $48,000 under market, and they moved in.
And Phil, I was there when you were having this conversation. Alicia and I were having there while you were having this conversation.
You guys were working on your test. You were studying.
Yeah,
for your
I
test.
remember.
And you're a dynamic personality, and you adjusted your communication style to fit that buyer's needs to help her understand exactly what you could do for her. And as a result, you got this amazing deal.
You know what the funny thing is? I adjusted myself. I talked. I got it all done. And then when I hung up, I'm like, because my D came out. Remember?
Yeah, your D did come out afterwards, but it was great to see how you were able to adjust and shift in the moment, between the different personalities, to be able to communicate effectively with that client.
And my thing is, like, I care so much about the clients. I treat their deals like it's my own deal. And the reason I adjust and I care so much about the deal and to help them get where they're going, it becomes like a mission for me. You know what I mean? Like it's just a mission that I have to complete. And it's just how I get deals done. I don't have deals fall apart. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Most people, they get deals, they fall apart, they don't get done. Or even in the market now, you list properties, they may not sell. I mean, I just got 2 properties under contract in the last 2 days. We just lowered prices. I have 4 showings on the other ones tomorrow. On 6 different properties just in one group. And things are starting to, you gotta aggressively attack things. And that's what we do. And they'll put that on the shelf. We'll talk more about that later, but it's all about communication and adjusting yourself to talk to people. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. Right. Cool. So Alicia, same question. So up until this point from the beginning to now, you guys are starting out in real estate. We haven't even talked about real estate yet. We're getting you guys prepared. So you're going to have a strong foundation to communicate that. And I always tell people it's like the Karate Kid movie, right? The kid, he's waxing the car, he's painting the fence, he's sanding whatever he did. And then he gets pissed off and he's like, tells Mr. Miyagi, he's like, dude, I'm not doing this. I'm cleaning up your house. I'm not doing this. And then he tells him paint the fence and he starts punching at him and he's blocking it and do this thing and he kicks him. And he's like, holy shit. Like I'm learning this stuff. I didn't even realize it. And that's how real estate is. It's just like your class. Remember, I told you, I'm going to teach you this way. And then you're not even going to realize you know it. And then what happened? You know it, right? It's the same thing. You got to understand the fundamentals. It's just like playing baseball. It's just like, you got to know the fundamentals before you can succeed. Right. And the problem in this business is nobody gets the fundamentals. They watch HGTV and they think some people are going to knock on our door and buy a $10 million house. But that doesn't happen. Right. It doesn't happen that way. So, so the principle is it's a sales business and you need to understand how to sell to people and you need to understand people's desires and their wants and their needs. And then you come in and you fill those voids they have. And there's no one else in this industry that does that. they're all trying to sell and hustle, and people are sick and tired of it, you know? And that's
Yeah.
how I've always become successful, no matter what. If I'm selling pizza, real estate, whatever I'm doing, like it's about relationships with people, right? So go ahead, Elisa. Tell us where you are, where you're at on this whole journey so far, and what you're feeling like now.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Thanks for asking, Phil. Mainly,
Mhm.
I just feel like it's really helping me stay grounded and have a better mindset moving forward to be able to connect with people and just create relationships like you were talking about to be able to help people with their real estate needs. Because, like you said, there's not a lot of people out there. It's very transactional. It's no really
Mhm.
empathy or no really connection, really. It's just like transactional, let's get it done, and that's it. So that's what I feel like makes us different is that we really care genuinely about, our clients, and we really want to do our best to help them in any way possible, even if it means jumping through hoops of fire. We'll do it to get it done.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that's what it comes down to. It really comes down to service. And listen, if it can get done and it's legal, I'll get it done. It's just a matter of figuring out how to walk the lines and get things done and get deals together for people. So, all right, cool. Daniel, how you feeling, man?
It's pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for asking, Phil. So, I think from my perspective, being a lifelong learner, really getting into this, I can take from some of the things that I've done in the past, the sales I've done in the past, which helps me be confident in what I'm doing, and then take the approach that you're teaching us, and really starting to mesh in the personality profiles and learning to read the situation. I'd say I've been fair with that in the past, but you could never be too good at being able to read the situation of the person and make sure that you're able to offer them what they're looking for,
Yeah,
connect with them, and get that little bit of rapport built with them. Because a random guy just calling wanting to sell your house. Well, I don't want to just stick a sign in front of your house and hope that somebody rides by and wants to buy your house. I want to find somebody for you and help you move
yeah,
this along.
yeah. You don't want to do the three P's, man. You know what the three P's
Yeah.
are, right?
Pay it
90% of
forward.
the agents, they do the three P's. They put a sign in the yard, they put it in the MLS, and then they pray to God somebody comes and buys it.
That's it. Not the three
That's
P's.
the
That's
three
not
P's,
me.
man. That's the three P's, man. Sean, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling about everything, and where are you at right now?
So I've been on the phones heavy the last 3 days. I probably made 600 phone calls. Um, and it's been a grind. It's been a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I find that I struggle to position myself. Like, I'm a D dominant, D and I
Yeah,
dominant, so I find that I do have to try to change my speech patterns with C's and S's. And I
yeah,
struggle with those people. And now after class last night, where when I was on the phones today, I could pick them out, and I still felt myself struggling. I could feel the missed connection almost. So
yeah.
it's made me conscious of it now, and it's something that I'm working to try
As
to get
much as
around.
you feel it, that's how you're going to get it. So everybody's going to see. I'm going to make live calls on here when we get to our prospecting part. You're going to see me calling strangers, setting appointments. You're going to see me getting hung up on and calling them back. You're gonna see me. They don't know who I am. They don't know how successful. They don't know what I bring to the table. And if I can't get that across to them, some people hang up and I can't help them. So what? That's their loss now, not mine. I move on to the next one, right? I can only help people that want to be helped. And what I bring to the table, once they give me 5 minutes of their time, they're going to see what I bring to the table. Hey, I'll do a little role play with you now. So Sean, you're a seller. Pretend you're a seller. You had your house on the market. You knew the real estate agent. No showings. They disappeared. Right? They don't know. They don't know what happened. So I'm going to give you a call. Say hello.
Hello,
Hey, my name's Phil Simonetta. I'm looking for Sean.
speaking. Who's
Hey,
this?
Sean. Yeah. How's it going? I just wanted to give you a quick call. I wanted to introduce myself to you. Obviously, we haven't met yet, and the reason for my call is really, really, really important. I just need a moment of your time. If you can please give me a couple seconds, you'll thank me after this call. I promise.
All right, I'm working right now. What's going on?
Are you okay? Cool. Just give me please 5 minutes, and I promise you'll thank me. Listen, I own a real estate school and a real estate brokerage here in Jacksonville. We're licensed in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee. The reason I'm calling you is I saw you had a property for sale in the market, and I'm sure you're probably getting a lot of calls right now. But one of the things I wanted to ask you was I wanted to know if you still wanted to sell that or if it was something that you weren't selling. And I just wanted to find out what was going on with it.
So I've decided to take the property off the market. I'm kind of weary about what's going on with the election, so I'm going to wait till afterwards.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I understand completely. The question I have for you, I don't want to take too much of your time. You're at work. Is it okay? Would I be able to put together a report for you? It's about 40 to 60 pages. It's going to give you everything you need to know about your property, everything on the market around it, everything that sold, everything that came off the market, and things that are pending right now. It'll give you a full market picture of everything that you need to know about your property compared to everything else that's going on. And like I said, I don't want to take too much time. I just need your email. I can send it over to you. And then what I'd love to do is if you have 10, 15 minutes later this afternoon, I can set up a Zoom call with you and we can jump on Zoom. I can review the report with you. I can show you my school, my brokerage. You know, we're top 5% in the country with transactions. I've been in the business for 25 years. I build, I develop, we do everything when it comes to real estate, building, developing, rehabbing, and we do a lot of third-party work where we represent sellers and buyers as well. And that's the reason I was calling you, because I just like to give you an idea of what we bring to the table and see if it's something that, hey, works for us. And listen, if it works for us, we can put a deal together and work. If not, hey, we part as friends, and at least I'm here.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, be hard on me, man. No, say no, man. No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to put you on the spot. But listen, you're going to see me making calls to strangers, talking to people, getting hung up on. People hang up on me, and I call them back. I get hung up on. I'll call them back and say, yo, did you just hang up on me? And some people will laugh. Right? Or some people, if they hang up again, screw them. But some people will laugh. I say, listen, man. I say, I was calling you to introduce myself. Listen, if you wanted to learn how to play basketball and Michael Jordan called you, would you hang up on him?
No,
I would. That's a good line. I'm
no,
feeling that one.
Well, listen. When it comes to real estate, I'm Michael Jordan. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to prove it to you. It's that simple. And then they'll usually laugh or whatever. Say, listen, we own a real estate school. We own a real estate brokerage. We're licensed in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee. We're top 5% in transactions, right? We're based in Jacksonville, but we have agents all over the state of Florida, right? Like that's a little bit of a conversation you have with people. Now, listen, you have that conversation with 100, 200 people a day. You're going to get 4, 5, 10 of them maybe to say, okay, send me the report and let's go on Zoom. It doesn't cost you a thing. We part as friends if you don't like it, Yeah. And then I have the text messages. You're going to send them a video with 700,000 views. You're going to send them, and when you talk to them, you're going to say, we own a brokerage. We own a school. I say because it's, and that's how you're able to lean on me, guys. You're going to lean on my experience. Day one, the first phone calls you make, you have all my experience. If you can just learn the talking points and talk to these people, you have my experience. And then you're going to connect, you're going to position, you're going to inspire them for that Zoom meeting. We're going to have our Zoom meeting and I'm going to take over and you're going to learn. We're going to do the contracts together. We're going to do the signings together. We're going to do all the inspections. We're going to put it on the market. We're going to put it in the MLS, get the photos done. We're going to do all these things, have the showings, get the offers, review the offers, send it to the title company, send it to the lenders, get the stuff, get the deposit escrow letters. There's so many things you got to do on a deal. You guys saw me doing them in training, right? I'm training you and I'm getting escrow letters. I'm showing you as I'm doing it. Like you're seeing the business in action as I'm talking to you, right? So it all starts though, the connection, the positioning, and the inspiring. If you can't connect, position, and inspire, go work for somebody else and get a full-time job because you got to be able to, no matter what, if you're selling cars, if you're selling motorcycles, if you're selling houses, you must connect properly. You must position yourself properly with the person, and you must inspire them to say, okay, I want to work with you. Those 3 things are the things that I can't do for you. You guys have to do them. From that point forward, I can work the whole deal with you to the end. We'll do that 2, 3, 4 times. And then once you guys are good, you're on your own, right? That's how that works. And then you're going to be able, it's like riding a bike. It's the same. Contracts are the same. Addendums are the same. names, numbers, and properties change, right? Skills change. If you're selling a commercial property to a residential, it's a different contract in that case. But it just depends on what you're doing, right? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So what I want to do quick, I want to share just with the public some of the training, like when it comes to the disc profiling, like what we do. And I want you guys to give us some, some feedback on what you guys got from your training as well. Okay. And then we're going to get into some questions about how you're going to proceed in the business going forward. Right. I got some questions ready for you guys for that. So if anybody has any questions or wants to join us, the link is in the chat. You can come in, join us. If you have any comments, questions, you can actually come in and say hello and join us here on video and talk with us. So what I'm going to do real quick, I want to share my screen. I'm going to pull this up and I want to show you guys what a disc profile looks like. Okay. I just got to find it now. Hold on a second here. I'm going to share my screen. It's going to get a little weird looking in a second. Give me a second here. All right. And here's the disc profile. So what happens is the disc profile, it's like a 40-page document, actually. And you get it, you fill out your questions, you do your profile, and it's an evaluation. So my natural style is a DI, and my adaptive is an ID. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take you guys through here. And this profiling is pretty amazing. It's a form of like Myers-Briggs testing. And it really breaks down your personality type and helps you understand other personality types and how you can relate to them. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but the gist of it is it breaks you down into categories and different strengths of that category, right? Different levels of intensity. So it gives you, the words that, a D is a dominant, I is influencing, S is like a very steady style, and high conscientious is a C, right? Very, very conscientious. And so you get in here and it breaks down, my characteristics and the things that, with the dominant style and the influencing style, it breaks down all the characteristics for you so you understand them. So you get down here and it gives you a behavior style, and it explains the behavior style to you. And then it breaks down like a D. These are the natural, descriptive words for a D. And then it tells you, the 4 you're most like. And then it gives you, the 4 I'm most like in a D is here, the I is here, the S, the C. And then this is the adaptive, right? This first one is the adaptive style. And then this one is my natural style. So it gives you this, the word like that most, describe who you are. And then it gives you your scores. So my scores, my natural style is a very high DI, and then a C. And then my adapted style is more of a DC, right? Which is kind of conflicting because a D and a C are actually opposites. A D is more aggressive, more forceful, goes right through, gets things done, very, very high pace. And a C is the opposite, very careful, very, very on point, dots the I's, cross the T's, make sure it's everything perfect. Like a D wants something done as fast as possible and as accurate, as fast and move on to the next thing. A C wants things done accurate as possible, and they don't care how long it takes. So I have a little battle sometimes with myself. But that's kind of how things work for me. And by understanding this, and understanding these 40 pages of information, like it gives me where my natural, my adaptive is, and it really goes through a lot of information. I recommend everybody, take this test just for their own life and what they're doing. But the most important thing is understanding your levels and what you are. So with DI, I know when I'm talking to an S, I got to talk to them in their language to do business with S's. If I want to do business with a C, I got to talk their language. A D and I can do business with all day long because we talk the same language. Like I don't have to adapt to anything. D's and I's, I can do business with my eyes closed. Get the deal done quick, easy, over, right? S's and C's, you got to slow down. You got to explain things. You got to make sure you understand everything. Every word, every dot, every I, every cross of the T. And that's kind of what a disc profile looks like. It gives you, when it comes down to prioritizing your behaviors, you know, what's your natural, what's your adaptive. I mean, it's a really in-depth review of a personality. And the most important thing, of course, you want to know yourself, but the most important thing when it comes to relationships and business with people, you want to be able to adapt and be able to communicate with others in their own language so you can have a bigger database and more of a client base, right? So you need to be able to adapt these. And it talks all about your natural, like when it comes to work process, my natural, my adaptive, prioritizing, my natural, my adaptive. You know, it really breaks down who you are. And it's crazy. I mean, you print this out, there's worksheets in here. And it comes out, I mean, it's 40 some pages, I believe. It gives you, look, when it comes to pace and priority together, you know, how you adapt and the areas you're strong in and where you need to improve. Because nobody's perfect. There's no right or wrong to this test, right? This test, it basically just tells you who you are and what your makeup is, DNA, what your energy level is, and how you deal with people. It's like magnets, right? So when you have the magnets opposite ends, they attract. When you put the 2 plus or the 2 minuses together, you can never push them together. They push away. And that's everything in the universe. It's metaphysics. I mean, we're all energy, right? So if you try to push yourself into something and you're not supposed to be there, it doesn't work, right? So you have to be able to adapt your energy with people to do business with them. And that's really what it comes down to, is communication and energy with people. And above all that is the results. You can have the best chemistry, the best everything with people, but if you can't deliver results, what good is it, right? So this here is the part where I'm going to come in back here. Stop sharing my screen now. Get in here real quick. Give me a second. We're going to stop the share. Okay, there we are. Now we're back. But you guys have any input on that? Like where you guys are coming from? Any on what we just went over? I kind of like squeeze it all in together. I mean, that's 4 hours of information there. So I try to squeeze it like into a little synopsis for the public to see. But what do you guys like from what I said there with that on the disc profiling? Can you give me a little information on that, and then we'll get into the questions? Whoever wants to go.
Are you like referring to like what we think of it, or like what ours were like, or
like
general?
like from what we did in the training, like what you got from it, from your personality type, and if you've seen experiences like in your past up until now, like how you could have handled situations differently or different things or in the future how you'll handle things differently to communicate with people.
For sure. I think it was mine, honestly, I feel like was really spot on. I was honestly shocked when I was reading it. I'm like, wow, this is really spot on. And then like even like how it explains your communications, do's and don'ts, like when someone's communicating with you, I think that really is helpful because it kind of taught me something about myself that I didn't know and will help me with future relationships and conversations that I have with people. And I'm sure certain prospects or clients that I talk to.
100%, right? Good. Christine?
I think this tool really helped me to understand really how to better communicate. I mean, that's it kind of talks about the different personalities that each of the profiles has, but at the end of the day, it's about communication style. And more importantly for me, how to better communicate with the other personality styles where I am not so dominant. As you were saying earlier, you know, you are a D, and when you are talking to an I, how much you have to adapt yourself, which again, I was witness to, me and Alicia were witness to. But again, that is just something that I'm going to have to learn how to be, because I think uh, arrogantly, I thought I was a pretty good communicator. At least that's something that I've been working on to be a better communicator. And what this tool showed me is that I certainly have a lot of work to do to be able to communicate effectively with other people to help them solve their problems.
Absolutely. There's always work to do. This is never ending, right? Things are always adapting and changing. So that's good. That's good that you see that. That's cool. That's cool. Sean, what about you, man?
So I've already seen it today with my experience on the phone from what we learned last night. From the moment I get people on the phone, that's one of the first thoughts in my mind. Is this a D, I, S, or C? And how am I going to approach this? How am I going to try to either match this person's energy or mask my own energy to something that would support them and be more comfortable for them. So it's
You gotta
already on my mind.
remember, right? Connect, position, inspire, right? So you got
Yeah.
very limited amount of time. You got 10, 15 seconds to connect with them, right? Because they're going to hang up the phone. You got 10, 15 seconds to make them want to hear you, right? And then you got to position quickly. Why do they want to hear? So first, okay, I want to hear you. Well, why should I listen to you? You got another 10 or 15 seconds to catch that, right? And then you got, once you got that, then you got about 30 seconds to a minute to inspire them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you connect with them, you get their attention. You position. Hey, listen, we own a real estate school, real estate brokerage, licensed Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, top 5% in transactions. That's going to catch people's ears. Like, whoa, you own a school? Yeah, we license people. We work for the Florida Real Estate Commission. We're licensed with them. We certify the public to get their real estate license. We also certify agents to become brokers, and then they take their state test. That's our
top 5. The top 5% is what I've seen is what turns the most heads, catches the most attention. Yep. Like it demonstrates that we are a group of winners. Right.
So that's what people want. They gotta sell their house. They might tell you, oh, we're gonna wait. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna hold off to after the election. Oh, yeah. Listen, if I had somebody come tomorrow and offer you cash for your house, would you sell it, or you want to wait till after the election?
Yeah.
How about if I can get it closed before the election? How about that? Would you want to do that? Yeah. See that? What do you mean? Yeah, man.
That's a
we're going to advertise you. We're going to advertise you in 140 countries in 18 different languages. You see, the person buying your house probably isn't in Florida right now. Okay, the majority of the sales right now are coming from outside of Florida. They just sold their house for more than it's worth, and they're coming here to buy a house. Okay, for political reasons, to save state income tax money, they're coming here. And if that stops, you're going to have a problem. Because nobody in Florida is buying houses right now. They're staying where they are because they got 3% on their mortgage. The only people coming are people coming from out of state. 90% of the sales. Or they're investors who are trying to get your house for $30,000 for $50,000 less than what it's worth. That's what you're up against. Now, you want to deal with someone like us because we're going to advertise you in 140 countries in 18 different languages. 65, 70% of our deals, we bring the buyer as transaction brokers, and we handle the whole deal. Smoother, not counting on other agents that don't know what they're doing. And we get the deal closed in an average of 30 to 45 days. That's who we are. And what I like to do is I'm going to send you some text. I'm going to send you a video with about 750,000 views from YouTube with my broker partner, Phil. You're going to see a video of him explaining the whole situation, an interview he was on. You're also going to see, I'll send you the website for the school and the brokerage so you can see who we are, what we do. You can look at all the reviews. We have other agents reviewing us, people we never met, who watch our videos online and we help them pass their exam that thank us. You'll see them. You'll see clients who had other agents trying to sell their house for months, couldn't sell it. We put it on the market 3 weeks, had it sold. You'll read on their reviews. They're written like books that you can see from clients. And there's videos on there of the client testimonials. So I'm telling you what I do. You can believe me. But I also want to show you what we do. And I'm going to send you three links. I'm going to send you the school website with all the reviews, and you can see the school and everything we do. I'm going to send you a video with over 750,000 YouTube views, and I'm going to send you my personal information. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do, I know you're busy. I know you're weary of what you want to do, but I'd love to send you a report on your house. Okay. All I need is your email. I'll send you this report. Take a look at it. It's 60 to 80 pages long. It's going to give you every detail on your property since it was deeded. Okay. It's also going to give you every bit of information, not only on your property, it's going to give you information on the market, what's on the market, what expired and didn't sell, maybe because it was priced too high, what was under contract, and what closed. So we can see what things sold for, we can see what things are asking for, and we can see what didn't sell because it was too much. So I'll do this report for free. There's no charge. I'm going to send it to you. I promise this report and what I'm doing for you right now is more than your other agent did for you the whole time you knew them. And I'm doing this for free. I'm going to send it to you. Now, I'm going to give you an hour of my time. I'd like to set up a Zoom call with you, my broker partner, Phil, and myself. Set up a Zoom call. We'll review the whole report with you. We'll give you our advice, what we think you can do. Free of charge, free consultation. At that point there, you can decide, do you want to work with us and sell your house? Or do you want to part as friends? Either way, we're okay with it. At least I know I presented everything I could do for you. And if it's not something you want, that's okay. But I know when I show this to you, you'll thank me and we'll get your house sold. It's just up to you if you want to give me an opportunity to show you. That simple. If somebody you're talking to wants to sell their house that much, if they want to sell their house that much, I don't care how mean they're being or how rude. Because listen, if I had to deal with half these agents out there, I got to deal with them every day. I tell them that too. Oh, you dealt with one agent and you had a nightmare? Yeah. Imagine me. I got to deal with them every day trying to sell my properties. Imagine what I go through. I tell them that. So then they realize, like, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. He has a school, he's a brokerage, this, that, this. All right, listen, all I want is a little bit of your time to show you what we can do. And I promise you'll thank me. And we're going to do business together. I just need you to give me an opportunity to present to you who I am and what we do. And that's it. Like that. Now you see, connect, position, inspire, right? The inspiration is like, look, just give me a shot. Let me show you what I can do. It doesn't cost you anything, a little bit of time, you know? And you get that shot, I'm going to close the deal. And I'm going to teach you how to do that, right? That's how that works. And that's the next trainings we're going to do. Like our next training that we're starting is about registration conversations, right? So you got to take a stranger you don't know, and you have to register yourself as somebody who is competent in a very short period of time, right? You have a very short period of time to get them to listen to you. And the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go over registration conversations with you, and we're going to go over the talking points. But I'm going to show you recorded videos and recorded phone calls of me doing that in 7 minutes. And then me getting a listing and me closing in 45 days, where a woman had it listed with 2 other agents. They never advertised that it was an assumable mortgage, 2.99%. I guess they didn't know, even though it's a question on your exam. I don't know. So I listed it. I put it at 2.99, had it under contract in 3.5 weeks. I brought the buyer. I double-sided the deal, right? So that's how you do things. And it's all communication, right? You're going to see on there, the lady said, oh, I have an agent I was listed with. I think I might go back with them. I go, did you sign a contract yet? She said, no. I said, will you give me an opportunity to at least show you who I am before you sign anything and see who you want to work with? She said, sure. I set the Zoom call up. I showed her everything. I realized that she has a 2.99 mortgage. She goes, what do you mean? I showed her how we can do it. I signed a listing agreement right there with her. I didn't even see the house.
Phil, with a client like that, or a potential client like that, who says, well, I think I'm going to relist with that person. How often do you encounter people saying that? And why?
Well,
and more than
well,
that,
they have loyalty.
Why would people want to continue to go back to somebody who wasn't able to produce
They might
the
know
end
them.
result for them?
They might know them. They might, listen, sometimes the market, sometimes it's not the agent. There's times that you may have to list a second time. Now, the question is, what did they do? Did they do the 3 Ps? Did they put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS and pray somebody came to buy it? See, when I list a property, I call the client every Friday, no matter what, right? I talk to a client and I say, listen, here's what's going on. Here's where we are. Here's where you're at. Or I'm in communication with them throughout the week. I have a showing. I text them, hey, we got a showing tomorrow. Hey, we have an inspection. Hey, we got this. Whenever something happens, I'm in communication with them. I'm not leaving them sit.
So you're maintaining that connection through communication.
Yeah. If nothing happens, you call, hey, listen, nothing's going on right now. The market's slow. I think we might need to reduce the price. I don't know if you want to do that yet, but things are slow right now. And here's what I really think you have to do. You have that hard conversation. And see, you can have that hard conversation because what happens is when you're dealing with them. Okay. So what happens is when you're dealing with them, when you're talking to them in the beginning, you tell them this, look, I'm going to have conversations with you that you're not going to like. We may not be able to, I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what. I'm going to tell you my opinion no matter what. I'm going to give you my advice, and then you decide what you want to do. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. You might not like what it is, but I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm going to tell you what's going on. Here's the market. Here's what's happening. Here's where we are. Right. What do you want to do? And if you have that open communication with them and you're straightforward with them, you never have a problem.
Because you gain their trust.
Right. And a lot of agents don't want to have that conversation. Oh, we had no calls this week. So they kind of ignore them. And then 2 weeks go by, and then 3 weeks go by, and that call is harder to make every day that goes by.
I think the initial call is hard to make. So it's, and maybe that's
But
why.
can you imagine the
Yeah.
call when you 3 weeks later you had no showings and you haven't talked to the person, you have their house listed?
Yeah, much harder, much more difficult. Yes.
Man, so as long as you communicate with them, hey, look, man, market's crazy. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what's going on. I just want to be honest here. Here's what's happening. You have any questions? I'll send them articles. I'll send them YouTube videos. I see something like, wow, here, check this out. I just want to give you an idea of what's going on. I'm always in communication with them throughout the whole process, no matter what. So I'm building a relationship with them. It's not just selling the house. So what happens is a lot of people won't do that. If my listing expires, they're going to re-up with me. I've had situations like that where it took me time to sell houses because markets change. You have a $2 million house. There's not a big market for that right now. You got a $2 million house on the water. I got a $2 million house on the water in Tampa listed. Okay, it's built to withstand Category 5 hurricanes. The winds were 120 miles an hour. The house doesn't have a scratch on it. I mean, the house was built by a developer. The house is amazing. Has an elevator in it. And everything around it's flooded. The house is built 16 feet up in the air. I mean, the house is like you can have a party. You can sit there, put a generator on, and ride out anything. It's right across the bay. The bay's right there to go out to the ocean, and right outside of Tampa, St. Pete there. But do you think buyers right now are like, oh, I had a person from Canada, a doctor from Canada, and his wife that were supposed to come down last weekend to see it. Well, they said, listen, we're going to put everything on hold right now. We're not sure, what we're going to do, because people are second guessing buying on the water in Tampa, right outside. I mean, who wouldn't right now? So that's a situation, right?
Yeah.
Even though the house is perfect, nothing's wrong with it. It's built above standards, right? But, then again, you might find somebody that wants to be there. They might write a check tomorrow. You guys got to find, you don't know. So
Right.
it really comes down to communication. I just talked to that gentleman. I just talked to him yesterday, and I told him about the guy from Canada. He kind of flaked out, He kind of flaked out. They're gonna. First, he didn't answer my calls. He didn't answer my calls when I tell you. I'm like, come on, man. Like, at least just tell me what's going on so I have some feedback here, right? So, but that's kind of where it is. Like you can't. There's things like that happen. But here now, I always ask him. Well, listen, I understand you have an agent. What happened? Why didn't it sell? And it'll say, well, what's that agent going to do different now than they did before to sell it? Because the market's going down. The longer it takes you to sell it, the less you're going to get for it. Do you want to put that trust in somebody that had 6 months and didn't do it for another 6? Or do you want to give it a shot with some? Look, I'm not telling you hire me. All I'm asking for is 20 minutes of your time. Let me send you the report, and then let me show you who I am and what I do and what my strategy would be. And then you decide what's best for you. If you don't think I'm best for you, don't work with me. But I'm pretty sure I am the best for you because I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this 25 years. I build, I develop. I'm licensed in Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida. I teach agents how to be agents. I teach agents how to be brokers. I own a school. So you decide when I present everything to you, who I am, what I do, and if you'd want to work with me. And if you don't, that's okay too. But I think you owe it to yourself to give me 20 minutes to let you show you who I am and what I can do for you. I don't care if you have an agent or not. As long as you're not signed with the agent and you don't have a contract with the agent and you're not listed and you're expired, I can present to you. If you had a contract with an agent, you sign. Because the first thing I'll ask them is, you have, okay, great. Did you sign a new agreement with them? If they say yes, I'm saying, oh, okay, well, I can't help you then. I'll send you I'm going to hang up. I'll send you my information if something changes in the future. And I still send them the video, my website, the school, and then my information. I leave it at that. I say, if something changes, let me know. If they say they signed. If they didn't sign, I say, listen, would you give me an opportunity to show you who I am and what I do? 20 minutes, I can show you everything, and then you decide what's best for you, not me. But don't you want to at least know what all your options are with people who are competent?
Well, and the client at that point, or the potential client at that point, is no loss for the wear because
There's no cost to them.
yeah, there's no cost to them, and
Nothing.
perhaps in those 20 minutes or in the minutes after that phone call where you're sending
Yeah.
them the report on their property is,
Yep.
like you said earlier, more than what they received from another agent.
Bingo. The report we're going to send them, the conversation we're going to have with them on Zoom, what I'm going to show them, my background, my history, my sales, my numbers. In that 20 minutes, half hour, we're going to give them more information and more of what a plan to do and how we're going to market and advertise and get it done than that other agent did. I promise you that.
It's building
And I
that
didn't,
confidence in
yeah,
the client.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all facts though. It's what we say, we do. 99% of people don't do what they say. They talk, they talk, they talk. They read Mike Ferry scripts. They bullshit, they bullshit, they bullshit, they bullshit, and then they do the 3 Ps. And then they pray and pray and pray and pray. 3P to the 12th power. 3 Ps to the 12th power. That's a good one. I should use that. The 12th power of praying. So, but the thing is, that's what they do. They bullshit, 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 bullshit. PPP, pray, and they hope somebody comes and buys it. That's what they do. And when you show people, here's my numbers, here's my closings, here's our deals, here's how many deals we closed, here's our average day on the market. Even in this market, here's our average day, right? Here's the amount we get to the list price. You show them all the percentages. That's what I pull up and I show them. Here's how many deals, right?
Well,
Here's
and I think too, with the way that you run your apprenticeship program and the way that you are training us, we're getting that that benefit of your experience and expertise that you're willingly sharing with us versus some of the other agents that are brand new who sign on with other brokerages that are not getting this one-on-one training, because essentially we're getting one-on-one training with you to be
Yeah.
able to help us connect all the dots and get the client, across the finish line with at least listing their
Yeah.
property and, you know, uh, hopefully eventually selling it.
We're going to have you guys making calls and setting appointments by the end of next week. Tuesday's training. Wait, no, but tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's training. Tomorrow's training and Tuesday's training is going to have you guys ready to make calls. Possibly next week on here, I'll be, depending on how the training goes, speed wise. Next week, I may be making calls live on here.
Awesome.
And letting people watch me call people. We could do it from, I think, and we start at 8 o'clock though. What is it, 9 o'clock? Is 9 o'clock the time you have to
9
stop?
o'clock.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to stop by 9.
Okay, so we can do from 8 to 9. Like we'll come in, introduce, get it going. Maybe I can make 1 or 2 calls.
Unless you want to
3
call in
calls, 4 calls.
Pensacola too. That's a different time zone.
Is Pensacola
not
different? Okay, so
Yeah, it's not 9 o'clock there.
that's an hour off, right? Over there,
Yeah.
Destin,
It's an
right?
hour
Destin's
behind.
like that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we'll do, and we'll just call, and what we'll do is you'll see me calling people, you'll see me having conversations, you'll see me get a listing maybe. So it's just I don't know what I'll get, and the example I'm going to use in the training was, I had somebody making calls, and I say, hey, call that lady back, she needs your help. Well, the kid didn't want to call her back. He felt like he didn't want to call her back. So I called back and I got the listing. And that's the call you're going to hear in the training, when we do that on tomorrow night. So, all right. So what I want to do, guys, is I want to get into some questions. I put some questions together, and this is what we're going to do weekly, right? So we're going to have a conversation about what we're doing, just like now, disc profiling, what's happening. We're going to have a conversation about that. And then I'm going to ask you some questions about the last 2 trainings we've done since our last show. So the first question I want to pull up. Okay, so what is the best advice you've received regarding the mindset and success in the real estate industry? So what advice so far have you received regarding to have your mindset in the right place before you start approaching people and become successful in real estate? So Dan, you go first on this one.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I think the biggest thing there is not to be afraid of rejection. You're going to get rejected. You're going to get hung up on. You're going to get turned away. But I mean, when you really think about the numbers, If there's 2,000 expired listings that you're going after here, you only need to connect with just a few people out of that 2,000. And I don't know those people. We don't know each other yet. So the very first initial phone call that I make to them, I either connect with them or I don't. They're not even seeing my face yet. We haven't made it that far.
That's the
It's
key.
either a wasted call
That's
or
the
it's
key.
not. I know
You
I
have
had
no
a
idea
call
who they
today.
are.
No, yeah, I had a call today, and my phone has an assistant to it, and they called back to back, and I'm pretty sure that they were trying to get me to come work for them for their realtor
Yeah,
company,
maybe.
and I sent them to my assistant, and they didn't leave any sort of a message for me.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to leave anything or take any time to return a call for you, but whenever I'm going to make a call, I'm going to leave a message for you. Hey, look, this is Daniel Cribbs with Pier 21 Realty. I'm interested to
Yeah.
talk to you about your property and find out what it is that you're looking to get out of it. What are you trying to do with it? If you have some time, please give me a call back at your earliest convenience. I'd be happy to sit down with my partner and broker, Phil Simonetta, and let's go from there.
Yeah. And the thing is, you got to remember, you have no idea who they are. They don't know you. So if they tell you no, what's it matter, right? People you know and care about tell you no all the time, right?
Absolutely.
So what do you care about somebody you don't even know, right? Who cares, right? And then the second thing is, when I call people, if I get a voicemail or it goes to whatever, I call right back. I don't leave a voicemail the first time. I call right back because a lot of times people will pick the phone up the second time, right? If the same number calls twice, they'll pick it up. And Sean knows that. So he said about 25-30% more people picked up the second time.
It's
So what
amazing
happens
how
is-
many more people pick up when you
Yeah.
call again. It brings a sense of urgency.
Yeah, they think they know who it is. Like if somebody calls you and calls you back, it's something, right? So, and if I leave a voicemail, I say, listen, hey, my name's Phil. I'm looking for John. John, we haven't met yet. The reason I'm calling is really important. Just need a moment of your time. Can you please return my call? Leave my phone number. That's my message. Because, hey, John, it's Phil. Obviously, we haven't met yet. I was calling to introduce myself to you. And I pause. And see, it's all tonality, right? So if somebody, you got to communicate with people, make them wonder, right? It's like a roller coaster ride. Going up the hill, all nervous, boom, going down, right? Going up. It's like a roller coaster. So, hey, Dan, my name's Phil. Pause. Let them. Hey, Dan, my name's Phil. Obviously, we haven't met yet. Reason for my call is really important. Just need a moment of your time. Please give me a call back. My number's. Look forward to talking to you. Click.
Yeah, and I think staying in that mindset. Yeah, staying in that mindset.
Don't give them too much.
That persistency. It keeps the bad bugs out.
Yeah, you got to make them wonder, who is this guy, right? Yeah. Hey, Dan, my name's Phil. Pause. Okay. It makes them wonder, and then that's how you start a conversation. They'll call you back, or maybe they won't call you back. Maybe shoot them a text. Hey, if you don't hear, shoot them a text. Hey, I was trying to reach you, but and then it might take 2-3 times to get a hold of them. But that's part of your nurturing. Like when we start doing the training, you're going to have your log. We have digital logs, and you're going to log every call you make. How many numbers, how many calls, how many contacts, how many appointments, how many leads, and you're going to have them call back the next day. The next day, the first thing you do is call back the people before you start new ones, right? So that's how you do it. And you set time up in the afternoon to call people back too. And I'm going to go over all that. That's part of the prospecting. I'm going to teach you guys all that. So yeah, that's huge. Call, no answer, call again, message, right? Cool. All right. Sean, go ahead.
The best advice I've ever heard regarding mindset came from a Grant Cardone training. And he just said, beat it to death. Be ready to beat it to death and be ready to just not stop. And it has been a lot of no's, a lot of immediate hangups, a couple of FUs. But you're still getting through and you're still having conversations with people, and you just need to keep at it until you got it, until it happens.
Yeah. When I tell you, like, go after yourself, I'm like 1 hand or 2.
Yeah, it is what it is. I just laugh, honestly.
Hey, thank you.
It's funny,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk to him. Yeah. You just thought and say, listen, man, why are you so angry, man? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, who hurt you?
Yeah, like what's going on? But listen, I do that. Like I don't, so I just hang up. I don't even answer calls. Like I'm serious. Like I'm the worst person because I don't answer. I don't talk to nobody. Like my cell phone, nobody has that number unless I know them. And my business line goes into that. So if somebody's calling me for business, I know. So unless the name comes up on the phone, I don't answer it. That's just my cell phone, my voicemail's full. You can't leave a message. So you either got to text me or I don't care. Cause if I'm not calling you and I don't know who you are calling me, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have time. Like, so I'm just like, whatever, man, you know? So, Alicia, what do you got there?
I definitely would say the best advice that I have received was from you, Phil, and regarding the mindset, like the example this week with that potential person who wanted to purchase a house I met at the gas station, and you just told me, don't really waste your time if they don't really answer or respond or communicate back with you, just move on to help the next person because there is somebody out there that really needs our help and wants our help and knows what we're about and how we can actually help them sell their home or buy a home.
Yeah. Not every deal is a good deal. There's people that if you do business with them, it's going to take so much time, frustration, and aggravation. It's going to stop you from getting 3 more deals.
Right.
I'm telling you, I've dealt with people like that when I started out. Now, forget it. Listen, here's how I operate. Here's what I do. You want to get on board and work with me? Here's how it's going to go. You want to? Great, let's do it.
Right.
Oh, you think you know better? Oh, that's great. Okay, well, listen. Have a great day. I'm really busy. Sorry, I can't help you. Psst, done. You know, like I'm not here to bend over backwards to do things your way. Okay, I'm in business 25 years, top 5%, own a school, own a brokerage. I have a system. It works. Do you want to work with me? And I'll show you how the system will work for you. I'm not looking for your input.
Right.
Like, here's how it works. Here's how it goes. Let's do it. You want to do it? Great. Boom. I'm not here to take your advice. I'm not, because they're going to give you advice. They're going to this. Oh, we should do this. Oh, we should do. Okay, well, listen, go do it then. What do you want from me? Like, what am I here for? Right. I don't need aggravation. I need systematic, and I get deals done. And that's what you bring to the table for people. You go to a doctor, you need heart surgery. You don't tell a doctor how to operate on your heart, do you? You don't, you have a professional, you have somebody who knows what they're doing. The problem is there's a respect level in this business that's not there because 80-90% of the people have no clue what they're doing. I had an agent today schedule showings for properties. She scheduled them. Then she couldn't get there. Then she canceled them by mistake. And then she had to reschedule. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And like, okay. Like all on the computer. It's like, I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm like, but that's, what are you going to do? I mean, you deal with it. I had an agent showing a property down in Fort Lauderdale. Same thing. Scheduled it like 9:00 on Sunday. And then like an hour before it, tried to reschedule it for a different time. And then tried to reschedule it back again. Then canceled it by mistake. Now they're going Thursday. I'm like, okay. like, I'm like, all right. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, you're out there. And that's the thing. You got to deal with these people. But the new rules and the new everything going on is eliminating a lot of them. They're getting out of the business, which it's really making the business more professional. It's really getting rid of the dead weight. And there's a lot of people out there that are just all over the place. You're going to see that as we go. So, all right, good. That's a great question. Great answers for that question. So the next question I want to ask you guys, like where you're at.
You might have forgot. Daniel, did you answer or did we all answer?
Yeah, I started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dan answered. Yep, Dan started on that one. Yep. So the next one. So what daily habits and routines will help you stay focused and positive in such a competitive industry? The reason I ask you guys this now is because we're going to put these routines and we're going to put these in place over the next 2 classes of the apprenticeship. But I want to see where you guys are at now prior to how we're going to set it up. So I want to see where you guys' mindsets are and where you're at now, where you think creating habits and routines will help you stay focused in such a competitive industry and with such negativity like you're talking about. So Christine, you go first on this one.
Phil, thank you so much for asking this question. It's a great question. And for me, the daily habits or routines that I feel will help me stay focused and positive in such a competitive industry is one, setting a schedule and maintaining that schedule. Even
Yeah.
though I'm an entrepreneur, I am my own boss. You're not telling me what time I have to get up and start making calls or
Yeah.
prospecting. It's entirely up to me because it is my business. So
Right.
maintaining that schedule for myself because I want to be a top agent. And then, to Dan's point, you you don't know what you don't know until you start making those phone calls, and then you begin to understand um, that through your perseverance. I think
Mhm.
Jack Canfield said it best. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. So I'm
Yeah,
just going
for
to keep
sure.
working through that fear every single day because I know what I want, and that is to be a top agent.
Yeah. And the bottom line is every tool that I give you guys is every tool that I use to do what I do. Like you guys literally have every tool I use, from my prospecting for my leads to the webinars to everything. Like you literally have access to every tool that I use. It's just you have to understand how to use those tools. And that's what we're doing through the apprenticeship. If you just do the work, you're going to be successful. The question is, are you committed to doing the work and going through the grunt, right? Like I hate making calls, right? But I know if I want to make money, I better make phone calls, right? It comes down to that. If I want more money, I make more phone calls. Like that's what. If I want to go buy a Corvette, I make more phone calls, get 3 deals, to go buy a Corvette, right? If I want to, if whatever I want to do, if I want 100 grand quick, I gotta make phone calls until I get 6 deals, right? 10 deals, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I gotta just do what I have to do to get that going, right? What other business in the world can you do that? Because listen, 2,000 deals closed last month. They're closing with or without me. Can I just get involved in them?
That's right.
Right? They're closing
That's
anyway.
right.
The question is, am I going to get involved in them or not? How do I get involved with them? I got to call people.
Pick up the phone. That's right.
If I stay home in bed all day and don't do anything, this is where I tell you guys, an agent who makes $1 million and an agent who makes nothing. What's the difference? What they do with their time.
Hmm.
They have the same education, same license. They can both work for the same brokerage. What do they do with their time is what matters. If I want to go ride my motorcycle all day and not talk to anybody, I'm not going to get any deals. Well, me, I'll probably get a deal on my motorcycle with somebody, but that's beside the point, right? But if you don't make the initiation to connect with people, you're never going to get the deal, right? You can, if people put off making the calls, you're going to see ads. You don't have to cold call. Use Facebook. This one was $79 for this, $100. They're gonna sell you. You know why? You're looking for every reason not to make a call. Right?
Well,
So
I think it's scary to make that call, but just like you were talking earlier,
it is. I
again
hate it
for
too.
the
Yeah.
client that was the potential buyer for the house in Tampa, the guy from Canada, he wasn't calling you back. I think because he was afraid to have that conversation with you that he was going to
Yeah.
wait. So there, fear is
It
certainly a
goes both
driving
ways.
factor for
But
both ends
but
of that call.
here's the thing now too with that. That's a very good point. But when you understand their personality type
Yes,
and communicate to them, you remove the fear.
yes,
You remove the fear by communicating with them. By them, wow, I don't know this person, but it's like I know them.
yeah.
Because
On
they're
Mon-
already like, go ahead, Sean.
on Monday, when I started to make my first call, I probably sat here for like 5 minutes, contemplated it, kind of let the nerves build up, and then I ended up getting someone's voicemail. So it was all the nervousness for nothing,
Yeah.
and then it was like, all right,
Just
just go straight to the second one, and then there was no time to be nervous after that. We were just in the
wait
routine.
till you see me make calls. Like you see, I talk to them just like this. Like I know them all my life. Hey, Christine. Hey, my name's Phil. Obviously, I haven't met yet. I just need a couple minutes of your time. I promise you'll thank me after the call. That's it. Just like that. So I talk to them like I know them all my life. And I feel, okay, great. Okay, so listen, I know you're getting a lot of calls and you're probably frustrated, but I'm calling you because I own a real estate brokerage and I own a real estate school. I always say school first. Well, real estate school, well okay, you sell it. Because, deep down inside, everybody on earth wants to do real estate.
Well, that's
right?
because they watch $1 Million Listing.
Right. And it's
You
like
don't-
everybody loves pizza too, right? Everybody loves pizza. Everybody wants to do real estate. Like everybody, like some point in their life wanted to do real estate, right? Because it's cool, right? So listen, I own a real estate school. Everybody else calling them is, when are you going to sell your house? 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 When are you going to hire a rate agent? When are you going to, okay, listen, I own a real estate school. Stop. Okay. We teach people to get real estate licenses, and we also teach agents to become brokers. I also own a real estate brokerage. We're licensed in Florida, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Been doing it for 25 years. Okay. The reason I'm calling you, and I'm not calling you like everybody else, I'm calling you because I saw your house come off the market. I wanted to know if you want to sell it. And the question I have for you is, I saw it come off the market, but I never saw it go on the market. Can you tell me what's going on? What do you think that's going to do?
It's going to get them moving.
No, I saw it come off the market, but I never saw it go on the market. What's going on? Are you wanting to sell it or what? What do you think that's going to do?
I think that's going to make them question what their other agent did, because you didn't recognize that it was even on the market in the first place. And I think that's going to give them an impetus to listen to you, to be like, all right.
Right. Well, what do you think they're going to say? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, listen, when an agent lists your house, they got to sell it twice. Can I explain what I mean?
Yes,
okay.
please.
Yeah. What do you mean? Well, first they got to sell you on the fact that they can sell your house. So you hire them, right?
Right.
Okay. Now the next thing they have to do is they got to sell me and everybody else out here that sells houses that it's available for sale. And I didn't see it was available for sale. I saw it come off because I have a service. When houses come off the market, I get alerted because I buy a lot of houses. I flip a lot of houses. I have investors all over the country. I mean, we buy properties, we sell properties. I sell property for people like you. We're international. I'm in 3 states, So the reason I was calling was I saw the property, it caught my eye, and I wanted to know what was going on because I didn't see it go on. And I just want to explain to you, it's very important for an agent to market a property properly, especially in today's market, because right now there's a lot of inventory coming on the market and buyers have slowed down, and you really need to be out there where people see it's for sale. And one of the things these agents do, they do the 3 Ps. Do you know what they are?
No. What are those?
They put the house on the market, they put a sign in the yard, and they pray that somebody comes and buys it.
Kind of sounds like the agent that I had.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Now listen, you had to deal with one agent like that. Imagine me. I got to deal with these people every day. I even teach them. And it drives me crazy, right? So what I want to explain to you is, listen, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I'd love to do a report on your property for you. Let me have your email. I'll send it to you. And then if you can, 6:30 tonight, you have about 20, 30 minutes. I can jump on a Zoom call with you. We'll jump on the computer. I'll review the report with you. I'll show you who we are, what we do, what we bring to the table. And if you want to work together, I can sell the house. If not, hey, we part as friends, but you know a lot more about the house than you did now. And I promise you, it'll be more than you learn from your agent.
I already learned a lot, and I do know more about my house and how I thought, just.
Okay, so here comes the D. Give me your email. I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is now, okay, so great. Okay, give me your email. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, listen, when we hang up, I'm going to send you 3 texts. 1 is going to be all my information on my social media. 2 is going to be a video we just did with an interview, has over 750,000 views about the Florida market. And number 3 is going to be the website for my school and my brokerage. I'd like you to go on there and look at all the reviews from all the clients we deal with, other agents, people we do business with, people I don't even know, write comments and things that they watch my videos on YouTube where I teach, and I help them pass their exams. I never met them. And they tell me how thankful they are the videos are there. So take a look, see what all these people say about us. Look at the school, look at the website, watch the video if you have some time. I don't care if you watch it when you're driving, put it on double speed. I don't care. But at least you'll see who we are, what we do. And by the time tonight I go over the report with you, you're going to see what I bring to the table and why I'll probably be a logical choice to get your house sold. That's it. Done. It's that simple of a conversation.
Love it.
It's that you have to understand those talking points, right? The talking points. The world doesn't have those. We have those, right? That's something I created, right? And the talking points are beautiful because you're going to say something and then they can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. The sky's blue, the sky's red, the sky's green. Okay, great. Go to the next one, right? Because the talking points are going to lead you to the Zoom appointment, right? That's how it's going to work. And it doesn't matter what they're like scripts. You're hoping they say something so you can reply, right? Scripts, they say this, you say this or this. They say this, you say this or this. Our talking points, they can say whatever they want. You know, they can say whatever they want. And you say, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and you go right to the next one. Right to the next one. Because our points are what we got to get across, not theirs. Right?
Right.
So that's how you do it. And you get into the Zoom call, and then by that Zoom call, you talk to them, you send them those 3 text messages with the videos and with all that, it's over. That's it. If they take the time to watch that, look at the report when we send it to them, and then get on the Zoom call with us, we're going to set the appointment. We're going to set it, and we'll do the contract because it's a logical choice to deal with someone who brings what we bring to the table. I'll put my skills and I'll put my ability in this business up against anybody. Anybody. I don't care who they are, what they do. I'll challenge anybody. I've done that. I said that before. Anybody. Because I know what I'm doing, and this is what I do for my living. I mean, I work on a deal. I put everything I got into it. And you can see in the reviews on the website, look what the people say, you know, once we get a deal done. And that's who I am. It's just how I work. And look, maybe I'm not for everybody, but I'm okay. Right? All I need is 5-10 deals a month. There's 2,000. There's 2,000 deals a month. I need 5 or 10 of them. I do 5 or 10 deals a month. I make $1 million, $2 million a year. I'm good. Right? You do 5-10 deals a month. You'll do 500 to 800,000 a year. Right? After an 80-20 split. Right? You'll do $1 million. You make 8 and 2. Right? You do $1.5 million. You just do the math. Right? So the system's in place. The deals are there. We see them every day. Right? You can look on the MLS. You see how many deals close. Right? The question is, are you going to get in them? Are you going to make the contacts? Are you going to make the appointments? Are you going to win the people over and get them to list with you? That's the question. The houses are coming off the market every day. The houses are going back on the market every day. The only missing ingredient is, are you calling them and talking to them and trying to get the deals? That's the only missing ingredient. And 90% of agents aren't. They're failing. Right? They're failing. Most of them are doing 3 jobs: bartending and real estate agent. Or, you know, me, I own a real estate brokerage. I own a real estate school. I teach it. I live it. Yeah, I have a pizza business. Yeah, I have other investments. Yeah, but this is what I do day in and day out. You know, and that's just how it works. That's just how it works. And when people see that, they appreciate that. You know, so you know, let's go to the next. Who has to do this question yet? Alicia, did you do this one?
No, not yet. I think it's still me, Dan, and Sean.
Dan. Okay, who has to do this one yet?
I didn't do this one.
Wait, are we on 3? No.
It was the one about routines.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep, there you go. Okay, cool.
Go ahead, Alicia.
Go ahead, Alicia.
Okay, so the daily habits and routines that I think would really help me stay focused and, and positive really in such a competitive industry is kind of what Christine said, just really having a routine. And motivation has something to do with it, but I really think discipline has something to do with it. Really being motivated and being able to discipline yourself to really stick to that schedule. And that's something I really struggle with sometimes, but as I've gotten older, it's been a lot better. So I think with this will really help me discipline myself because like Christine said, we're our own bosses at the end of the day. We're entrepreneurs. We have to make sure that we are accountable for our actions and we actually put in the work to be able to be successful and be a top agent.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you. Dan, go ahead, bud.
I'll build on that. Just like they said, discipline's a big thing. And being a business owner, that's what it's all about. Me personally, doing a routine when it comes to making those phone calls. I have things first thing in the morning that I'm going to have to do before I get to that. My schedule Monday through Friday is already laid out for me, and I have
Mhm.
certain times, school drop off, things like that, taking care of my son that I've got to take care of, and that's
Yep.
that's what my life is. But after that, I have a window of time that works great for me, and it actually works great to be able to call people in the morning for a few hours, and then to split
Yep.
it up. You don't get burnout. You get as many calls in. You do as much business as you can first thing in the morning, and then you move it on to another part in the afternoon.
Yep.
Sometimes people need to speak after they get off work. You may run into that gentleman or that lady that works 9 to 5, and they just absolutely do not talk on the phone during that time. But when they get off,
Sure.
hey, listen, I'm free to hear what you have to say. Maybe you can talk me into putting my house back on the market, or whatever that may be. And so, really getting that routine and sticking to it, being disciplined about what it is something I'm looking forward to. It brings me back to my time selling motorcycles, where we had to do straight cold calls. I mean, you'd
Yep.
have a list of people that walked into the dealership. And I don't know who knocked them in the head to get their phone number, because some of these guys and girls did not want to talk to anyone. They're like, "How did
Yep.
you get my number?" Well, listen, sir. If you were interested in anything, here's what I have. These are the sales pitches, so to speak, based on interest rates that I have for you. If you're interested in something like that, or it sounds good, hey, let's talk. And so, just
Yeah.
kind of getting away from some of the real cold calls and getting into the fact that these people are looking to do something will be
Yeah.
very beneficial.
Listen, they have to sell their house. They came off the market. They want to sell their house. The question is, they're aggravated and frustrated because 50 people are calling them. You got to set yourself
Yeah.
apart. How do you do that? We own a school. We own a brokerage. We're top 5%. Listen, I know I don't want to take too much of your time. I'd like to send you a report. Here's what I'll send you 3 text messages. Take a look at this. Let's set up an appointment. I'll go over the report with you. Bring my broker and partner in. Blah 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 blah. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're busy. I'm busy too. You know.
Yep.
All right. Cool. And Sean. So what habits and routines are going to help you stay focused in this industry, man?
Starts with making your bed in the morning. You make your
Yeah.
bed, you accomplish the second task, or you accomplish the first task of the day. Then you brush your
Yep.
teeth. You do the same thing in order, and it builds speed and it builds efficiency. And then, even if you have such a horrible day, at least you're climbing into a nicely made bed at night, and you can start all over again. You know?
It's a good point, man.
Very
So
nice.
Good
yeah,
point.
I
you
like that.
start,
Good point, man. I like
you
that.
do the
Good
same
point.
thing day in, day over, and it builds efficiency.
All right. Now the next question, we got 2 more. We'll wrap these up. So, since we started training, is there a particular belief or philosophy you started to adapt that you think gives you a competitive edge going forward? Like just the conversations we're having now with what we bring to the table and how we're going to position with the talking points. Do you think there's any belief? Like, because remember, it starts with the beliefs and the mindset, and then it goes to the actions, and then from those actions, you're going to develop skills, right? You're developing skills
Yeah.
right now, calling in, and so you're going to go in that cycle right now until you get your first deal. So it's beliefs and actions, doing the work, skills, beliefs and actions, doing the work, skills. You're going in that cycle right now. So Dan, you
Yep.
go first. So
Yeah,
is there anything
so
you picked
I've
up?
kind of thought about this, and this was the one question that came to me pretty fast here. But if I
Mhm.
remember my numbers correctly, there's like 22,975,900 people in Florida alone. Listen,
Yep.
for 1 month, if I can just get 2 or 3 on the phone, maybe 4 or 5 that are interested in listing their house, or if I have a buyer that's looking for this specific house, that I track down and just scour the MLS for, hey, look, I got something here. Let's put a deal together. Let's find something that works for us all. That's all I
Mhm.
need. That's all I
Yep.
really need to be successful here. And I will feel every bit of that deep in my soul as I'm helping that family out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Very, very good point, man. Very good way to look at it. Christine, go ahead.
The particular belief or philosophy that I've adopted that I think gives me a competitive edge is that I wake up every day and before my feet even hit the ground, I say my positive affirmations. And two of the affirmations that I say are I am going to build, or I am building generational wealth with and through real estate. And I am helping other people build generational wealth with and through real estate. And I think, I have other positive affirmations that I utilize. And one that I recently just came up with even today was I am a top agent in real estate. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone in Florida knows my name when it comes to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good.
I
Good.
think that mindset, that philosophy, that belief is going to catapult me into be able to,
Yeah.
persevering and continuing to pick up that phone after I've been hung up on and
Yeah.
keep moving
Yeah.
forward.
It makes you stronger. You're gonna see. You're always gonna have people hang up. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, nobody wants to be called by somebody they don't know. And they might listen. They might not be a bad person. They just might be having a bad day. Maybe their spouse just they have a problem with a spouse or a kid or something's going on in their life, and they're just like, fuck it, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been in that situation. So it's nothing on you. It's just, how important is that conversation for you to have with them? Right? Just like when you're dealing with somebody who's an opposite personality, you don't want to deal with them.
Right.
But if that deal means something to you and you want to work on that deal, you'll work hard on figuring out who they are and work with them.
Yeah.
It just depends if
Adapting.
you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't want it, screw them. Who cares? Be where the fuck you want to be. Go,
Right.
like that's whatever. You make a decision, you cut your losses and you go, right? That's just the way to do it, right?
Yes.
All right. So Sean, you do this one first. Christine did it second. Alicia, go ahead.
I think a particular belief or philosophy that I've kind of adopted in real estate that gives me a competitive edge is I've been learning recently. I've always been grateful, but living in a state of gratitude and just being grateful to like be here. I wake up every day and I'm grateful that, I met you and I met this amazing group of people and we all kind of came together and created this team and we're going to just all be so successful. And I just feel it. And like I said, when I met you, I felt like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I just feel like living in a state of gratitude, I noticed I've been attracting a lot more positive things, positive people,
Yep.
and I've just been seeing a lot more positive things happen. And I think that also has to do with the mindset and just thinking more clearly, being more positive, being more disciplined, and more motivated than I ever have been in my life. So I'm very grateful and thankful. And that's really been helping me kind of get to where I need to be.
It's awesome. Awesome. Really, really cool. And Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, I started this one off, Phil. So what do we got for the
Oh, I'm
next
sorry.
one?
That's right. So wait, are we all good on this? All four of us, we did? Okay. So
Yeah.
for me, I have one philosophy since I was 12 years old. And this philosophy always propelled me. My parents got divorced. My dad left when I was 12. We went from having a normal, comfortable life to the opposite, right? Struggling and getting by. And I always swore to myself, like I wanted to be better at night than I was when I woke up every day. So when I go to bed tonight, I want to be better off than I was when I woke up this morning. And when I get up tomorrow, when I go to bed tomorrow night, I want to be better off than I was that morning. Right? So you don't have to be launching, but just think about this. If you get a little bit better every day, every week you're 7 times better. Every year you're 52 times better.
Yeah.
I love
Right?
that philosophy.
Yeah, that's
That's a
great.
really
Every
good way to
day,
look at
right?
it.
Or actually, no, 306. Every year you're 365 bits better, right? It's days, not weeks. Every day, just get better. It doesn't, and I'm not talking just about money. When I was a kid, I would work for people for less than it was worth, just so I could learn the knowledge of doing something. And then I would show my value. Then they'd pay me what I was worth. Right. So do the job, do more than is expected of you. eventually you're going to be compensated for what you do. Okay. I lived that way my whole life. The craziest thing in the book I gave you guys, the 16 lessons.
Yeah.
That's one of the pieces of the advice from Henry Ford. Was one of the lessons is do what you have to do to break in something. Do more than is expected of you and do it for less than it's worth. Do it for free if you have to. And when the person who is in charge and the person who makes the money sees what you bring to the table, they value that, and then you get paid. Sometimes you have to be humble, get rid of the ego. Like, I try not to have an ego. I told you guys many times, I can go buy a Ferrari tomorrow and drive it. I won't. I'll go rent one, beat the shit out of it, and turn it back in. Right? I don't want the things. I'll go enjoy it for a weekend. I just want my motorcycle. I drive my car. I'll drive a BMW until I die. I'll just drive BMWs my whole life. I've always done that because I like them. But the thing is, I don't go extravagant. I want to do something, I do it. I can do anything I want, anytime I want. Having that freedom is more to me than having a mansion and having all this bullshit, having to pay taxes, having to pay all this extra bullshit. For what? What do I need, right? Simple life, make as much money as I can, give it to my kid, right? When I'm dead, right? It's a game. Life's a game. All this stuff, it's a game. And you got to play the game better than other people. That's really what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And when you look at life like that, once you guys, it doesn't matter where you are, if you have a lot of money or don't. If you look at life that way and you proceed and just get better every day, the money's going to follow. It's a product. It's a byproduct. Every day, just do a little better. Every day, make a little bit of ground. Be consistent. Some days you won't. Some days you're going to be level. Try not to go backwards. Some days, you might not feel it, right? Some days you might need a break. Some days you just don't feel it, right? But just be consistent and move forward and gain. That's all you can do. Make connections. Know more people. I want to know more people tomorrow. I want more people to know who I am tomorrow. Little bit at a time. And that's how you leave a mark on the world. YouTube videos, 1 million, between all the videos, probably 1.5 million people saw my videos and know who I am now from doing videos and things like that. All my clients, they know who I am. People they know, right? They little by little every day, just build and build and build. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to start
make your bed in the morning.
Yeah, that's where it starts. It starts with step one. It's something consistent. You need consistency, right? And that's what we're going to build next week in class. We're going to build the schedule. We're going to build consistency. No matter what, you're going to do this. No matter what. If you get rejected 100 times, 500 times, no is an answer, right? You're making things happen. People are talking to you, even if they go screw yourself. You're making progress to get where you're going. Nothing's always easy, right? Anything worth anything is hard to do. No one, unless you win the lottery, and most of those people lose it in 3 years, because they're stupid, right? But that's that's the way it works. All right, so that's my take on that one. So I'm going to do one last question, and this is something if you had this already, or if you're going to find a mentor or something that's going to shape you. What we're going to do is we're going to start. I want to go through the 16 lessons with you guys, like that whole. It's 1,180 pages, the original copy, and we can actually go maybe starting next week, we'll do a chapter a week privately, and then when we do the show here, maybe we'll have a little segment talking about what you got from that book this week, from that chapter, and use that as like a a building with the show, you know. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
come
love
in, we'll
that
do an
idea.
introduction,
It's a
talk a little
great
bit
idea.
about, do a couple questions, and then talk about, hey, this is happening. And then as we get deals, we'll talk about our deals. We can't say names and addresses, but you can talk, hey, what's your challenges? So this is your first deal. What's happening? And then, you know what I mean? And we're going to talk about this and share this so other people that are in this business
Mhm.
can see the challenges and can relate. You're going to not believe how many people will be able to relate to what you're saying. So the last question, if you found it now or not, has there been a mentor or a book that shaped your mindset about success in real estate or in life? It doesn't just be real estate because you guys are just starting. But at this point in your life, has there been a mentor that you followed or studied, or has there been a book that you read, business book or advice or something that shaped your mindset about success in life or real estate or anything? Sean, go ahead. You go first on this one.
It would probably have to be my aunt, Laura Greeny. She grabbed me about a year and a half out of college and told me, "You're going to buy a house. You need to do this. This is the best way for financial freedom." She herself had 3 investment properties in Florida, and then her home in New York. And she took my young mind that really didn't know what it wanted to do after college and focused it and narrowed it and kind of sparked my interest in it. And that's arguably the hardest part, is catching someone's interest.
Yeah.
So she did that and introduced me to Phil, and here we are.
Yeah. She's the reason you're here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. And probably one. She's a really great person too. Genuine, really
Yes,
good
she
person.
is. When she wants something, she is relentless. It wasn't an option to say no.
But that's how you have to be. If you want anything, dude, in this world, especially today, nobody's giving you anything, dude. And it's
She
harder
gets
to
it
get.
done. Laura
Yep.
gets it done.
Yep. And that's why I get along with her so well, because we're the same way that way. Let her tell you about the property management company for one of the properties. Tell you the story about the property management company for Gibraltar. Let her tell it to you.
Is that the one where they were just swapping the letterhead on the quotes and just making it
No,
more expensive?
I don't know about that one, but that's not.
That's a whole other thing.
This was when we were getting this sold. Yeah, just to ask her how I handled that. Like, she was on the 3-way call, we handled it. Just ask her. She'll tell you. Alicia, go ahead. What's your take on this one?
So I really had a friend, honestly, when I was about 16 years old. I met her randomly, and her name is Tati. We're still friends to this day. She's more like a family to me now than anything, but she was the one, and I think I talked to you about this, but she introduced me to The Secret, and you were the one that explained to me that The
Yeah.
Secret is actually based off the book you were just talking about, the 16
It comes
Lessons.
from Napoleon Hill, who wrote that.
Right.
Yeah.
So they just
I
kind of
mean, down the line, yeah.
not like stole it, but like rewrote it and made it their own version and made it their own. But
Yeah. It's a lot of the motivation people, a lot
do
of Tony
that.
Robbins stuff, a lot of it comes from these principles.
Right.
Like
And I
Napoleon
remember you
Hill's like the
explaining that
godfather of the
to
whole thing.
us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's really the one that kind of brought that to light for me when I was 16. And ever since then, just my whole mindset started changing. I started viewing life differently, and I was starting to attract things that I didn't even know I was capable of attracting. And that really made me more successful to attract the things that I know I'm destined to do in life.
Yep. That gives you parts of it, right?
Right. I
It's
can't
the
wait to read the
metaphysics.
whole book because I'm
Yeah.
really excited, because that really intrigued me and really made me
Yeah.
think and view
Yeah.
life very differently.
Yeah. All right, Dan.
All right, so I'll throw a little Mr. Miyagi wax on, wax off Daniel-san in here. So mine really stems from my sensei, and a dojo-kun, as we would call it. This is Japanese way of living, and part of our dojo-kun is to seek perfection of character, be faithful, endeavor, and respect others. And I think when you really break each one of those down and apply it to life, that's it. In a nutshell, That's it right there. And
It comes down to relationships, doing the right thing, and people working with you. It really comes down to relationships of people, because money comes from people, not things. Money comes
absolutely,
from people, man.
absolutely. And just throughout my life, I could always slow things down, even when things are bad, and just break that down and find something and find support in just that. And so, that being my mentor, um, for this, it's yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. How old were you when you started doing that?
So I was a young teenager.
Mhm,
I took I took about 20 years off just
mhm.
life. The areas
Yeah,
that I lived in wasn't exactly close to where they were at.
yeah,
And then I've
yeah.
been back at it now for a little over a year.
It's cool.
And I'm right at the top end of things. So I spend a lot of time teaching and trying to foster these same this same stuff to the younger generation, as well
Yeah,
as trying to instill this same stuff into my son and
yeah.
teaching
That's one of the
discipline.
things, man. That's one of the things that's heavy on me, the younger generation. Like I want to give them hope and give them like an idea that they
Yeah,
can do something, man. Because they're all
yeah,
messed up right now, man.
absolutely.
Cool, Christine. Go ahead.
Um, as far as mentors, my parents, I think, showed me uh, the tenacity and how to do the grind and
Yep,
to get up even when you didn't want to and get it done.
yep,
But my friend Tony Hernandez introduced me to the book The Secret, and that really changed my mindset about my parents thought that the work that they did was they weren't creating their reality. They were living in it. And The
yeah,
Secret taught me that I create my reality. So
yeah,
what if I can change my mindset and realize that I'm the driver of the vehicle, that I'm not just a passenger on that vehicle,
yep.
my entire life changed. Now,
Here's yeah. That's smart. That's really cool. That's really cool. You say that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but specifically with regard to real estate, I would say, and these are personalities that I really gravitated towards this year. One is Phil Simonetta. Not sure if you've heard of him, but he's got this dynamo personality. And what really drew me to him is that he knows his stuff. He knows the law. He knows how to utilize the system to work for him and for his clients. So
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons that I feel I'm going to be very successful, is because I'm finding him to be quite a mentor through this journey. Two other brokers that I have come to really be fascinated with. One is Jackie Kravitz. She's out of Miami. And the other one is Glenda Baker out in Georgia. And,
mhm.
each of these personalities has taught me a little something different. But at the end of the day, every single one of them says the key to success is the mindset. It is what you believe you can or cannot do.
What stops you from making $1 million next year?
Me. And there's nothing stopping me. Actually, there's
Nothing.
nothing stopping me.
Nothing.
You know,
Nothing. It's your belief.
I'm gonna be halfway there by the end of this year.
Yeah, it's your belief.
Yeah.
What says you can't do something? It's because you
Right.
think you can do. You can literally go anywhere and do anything at any time that you want.
Yeah.
But something in you stops that. Like that's really the
Yeah.
truth. Like anybody can do anything at any time. It's just these fears stop you.
Yeah. We have,
Beliefs and fears.
yeah.
That's the only thing that stops you. It
Self-limiting
really is.
beliefs and fear. And once you learn
Yeah,
that you're in control of that and
yeah,
that you have the power to change that, I mean, the whole world becomes
Your
different,
oyster. Yeah.
just
yeah,
a different, you see the world differently.
yeah, yeah. For me, the mentors in my life, Napoleon Hill and Grant Cardone. They're the two people that I relate to in life. There's other people. I mean, I've been to Tony Robbins events. I've done all like walked on the fire, all that, all this stuff. you know, a lot of that stuff, a lot of rah-rah, a lot of things you want to hear, a lot of feel-good shit, right? But when it comes to principles and doing things that create results, nothing has been better than Napoleon Hill, first of all, because he's results based, that whole thing. And Grant Cardone, same thing. People will hate on him. People will call him a criminal. People say they investigate him. He just spoke at Trump's rally. Trump had him speaking at the rally. He just raised money. I mean, he doesn't pull punches. I was at a 60th birthday party on a yacht. It was a private birthday party. I was invited with people. I've known him. I've met him when I was 19. He was doing the car sales software programs, and I was working at a car dealership in the summertime. My friend's parents owned a Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer in Pennsylvania, and I worked there in the summertime, and he came in to train us. And he was the first I was like 19 years old, not even 18 or 19. He came in to train us on the software programs. It was the first time I met somebody that I could relate to in my life, because everybody I was around, not to sound arrogant, but I had to dumb myself down. My dad left. My uncles helped raise us, and we were always told what to do. I was always told what to do, not be myself, not like I was held back. And I was like the black sheep. I was always successful. I always hustled. I always made things happen. And I always had ideas. I always created things. I always made money. And like they told me don't go to college. They told me stay home and take care of my mom and my brothers, make sure they're okay. Well, I went to college and I paid the bills for my mom at the same time. Why do you have to do one? Right? I'm going to sacrifice my life to help. I mean, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, why? I'll go to college, I'll go make money, and I'll pay bills. Like, I can do both. Why do I have to pick one? And then I don't talk to them. Like, I have nothing to do with them, but because I went on my own, did my own thing. So I always just did my own thing. And like, again, after my father left, I wanted to get better every day. I don't listen to anybody. Nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't do. Right? I do my thing. When you tell me I can't do something, I just laugh. I just go ahead and do it because no one ever, like, I do whatever I want. Like, it's just whatever, I couldn't find good pizza in Jacksonville, so now I make my own, open the bus, right? So whatever I want to do, I'll just do it. I can't find a good cheesesteak. Maybe I'll put a cheesesteak one out there too, make cheesesteaks. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that next year because I need a write-off. So I was voted best cheesesteak in 2009 in Philly by Fox 29 News. I mean, it's on the Google. You can look it up. I mean, I was voted best cheesesteak in Philadelphia in 2009. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? So, it's just, in life, you got to set your goals, follow the people you believe in. So when I met Cardone, like, he was the first person I met that I was like, holy shit, I'm not the only one. Because he was the same way. He was like, he just drove, I was like, dude, I actually talked to him. And he was a millionaire. He was a multimillionaire then, I'm sure. He wasn't married. He didn't meet the chick yet. And he didn't build 500 billion in real estate, He's going to have a trillion. But it was different, And I just followed him and I learned from him. And I still, that's why you guys have the training, right? I've had that from when I was a kid, lifetime access to it. And that's why you guys have that training. That's why I tell you, do this, and do this. I can't make you do it. All I can do is lay it out there for you until you do it. I don't have enough time to go. I wish I had enough time to go through everything with you guys. I just don't, So I can only give you the tools, and then you guys got to take them and make them work. Between the 16 lessons that I got when I graduated from college from my fraternity brother, that book, and learning from Cardone, I got it. I mean, a lot of hard work and dedication and my skills got me where I am, but they were my map. I didn't have parents that told me. My parents didn't do anything big. You graduate from high school and they lived their lives, right? They had jobs. Everybody in my family, I have cousins and stuff that are in law and different things back home, but all of them were just go work, go do this, go do this. Like just do simple things in life. And because I didn't do simple things in life, I was like outcast from them. Does that make any sense? Like it's like I'm not like them. I do my own thing. And instead of being appreciated, it was more like a black sheep kind of thing. So I've learned to succeed on my own. And my guides were Napoleon Hill's lessons and Grant Cardone's drive and opportunities you create, right? And how you deal with people. And that's where I built my training program from. That's how, between those lessons that I learned, I created the apprenticeship, the talking points, how to deal with people, how to build relationships. I taught myself everything. Nobody gave me anything. And now I put that together, and that's what I share with you guys as agents. Tonight, we have 9 altogether, right? 5 of them are doing the show with us. 4 of them aren't doing the show. But we have 9 people altogether. And everybody's in their own thing, right? So some people have full-time jobs. Some people haven't even made the trainings because they have other things going on. Eventually, the trainings are recorded. They can go watch them. I can't force them. I can't make them, right? I can't make them do it. But I can lay it all there for them, and they got to take it upon themselves to go so far. I can only do what I do, right? My schedule's crazy. You see me here, right? You see me 3 nights a week, right? I set 3 nights aside to train you guys from now to the end of the year. Right? That's my commitment to you guys, right? Tuesday night, Thursday night training, Wednesday night show, right? That's the commitment I made to you guys so we can be successful. Other than that, I can't call for you. I can't talk to people for you. All I could do is teach you to connect, position, and inspire action with people. Then once you have them ready to go to deliver results, that's where I pick up. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yep.
it does.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's kind of what it is. So I can do all I can on my part. You guys have to do that part. You got to do your part to get to the next level, right? So, yep. Any questions, guys? We're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Any feedback? Any ideas? Anything before we close out?
No, this has been great.
It's been amazing. I appreciate it.
Just ready to keep hitting it.
Cool, man. Yep. Tomorrow night, man. Tomorrow night we're gonna start in with the talking points. You're gonna hear some of the calls. You're gonna see some of the videos of you're gonna see a client that I listed the house in Jacksonville. We listed the house in Jacksonville. Put the house on the market. They were moving to Tennessee. I didn't have my license in Tennessee. They had 2 agents working with them out there. They couldn't find them a house. So I got my license in Tennessee. It took me 7 days. I found them a house, got it under contract before I sold the house in Jacksonville. Never left Florida. My feet never left Florida. I found it. They went out there Memorial Day. They went and saw it, inspected it, did the inspection, came back. They bought the house. We closed the house here November 12th. They closed the house there November 15th. November 12th is Aiden's birthday. November 15th is my birthday. I never left Florida. I sold their house here, closed the deal. They drove out there, closed the deal. That was it. Money got wired. Boom, boom.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's why I got my license in Tennessee, to help those people. Took me 7 days because I was exempt from all the education because of having the school and the brokerage in North Carolina and Florida. I sent all my criteria in, and they just said take the tests. I took 2 tests. There's a state that's 80 questions, and the federal is 80 and the state's 50. I took 2 tests, passed them, got my license. That was it. So now this company here, this office is licensed in Tennessee. So, but that's what I do, right? That's how you operate. You get deals done. What did it take me? A couple of days, take a test, big deal. But the agents that were there couldn't find a house for them. What's that tell you?
Right.
What's that tell you? 2 of them couldn't find a house for them. I found it, I didn't even join the MLS. I found it in Zillow for them. I called the agent and got them to do an agreement with me to pay. I didn't even join the MLS. I didn't join the MLS. I found it in Zillow, called the agents. Listen, I'm a broker. I just got my license. I'm here in Florida. I'm licensed there. Here's my stuff. You'll pay me 3% commission. Yeah, they did an agreement with me to pay me 3%. And that's it. We did it. They went, they saw it. We did the contract, done. I got paid. I didn't even join the MLS out there. Crazy, right? That's how it works.
The power of your mindset.
I can do anything just if I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just if I choose if I want to do it. That's everything. And then you guys are like that too. There's no difference. You guys can do the same thing. I'm not special, you know. I just have more experience in certain areas, right? You guys can do the same thing. You're no different than me. We're all here. I mean, it's that's the craziest thing. So, all right, guys. Anything else you want to say before we head out for tonight? We're gonna call it a night, and we're gonna end our second show.
Have a great night. See you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so
Talk
much
to you guys.
again, Phil. Have a good
Everyone.
night,
We'll see you guys
everyone.
next week.
Good night,
See you
all.
next
Great night, everybody.